Oh.
Yes, B?
So, seeing that you started a new job and everything like that, and we're hitting the second wave, as everyone keeps saying.
Oh, gosh.
Do you think that you might face some challenges with seasonal depression in work and possibly having to work from home?
Honestly, that's a really good question. It seems like for me, my seasonal affective disorder, if I'm not doing something, like if I'm not busy in a job, at a workspace, like
a reason to get up,
shower, get dressed, put on my bow now. If I don't have those reasons, like you hit the snooze button a couple of times and you lose motivation. So that's my biggest concern going into working remotely. And I'm worried. I'm worried that the depression might hit me because I'm not amongst people. And
well, you have work, so I mean you're around people, but like but not like I mean? Like in that I know
environment.
I know our 10 human limit is it's
so
with our big family
it concerns me, and mom and dad and everything, so that's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Oh no. All right, so
yeah, great question.
Thank you. I felt like I did a real thoughtful, deep detail.
It was very deep.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
Dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika.
And it's your girl B.
And you are dishing with Dainty Dish. How are you doing today, B?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm scratching and surviving as always, but like it's really good times. Do you know why though?
Why?
It's my little one's like first sensible Christmas season, so I'm trying to, traditions. I'm trying to start them off.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to be that overbearing mother, trying to hit it all out right now. So I'm in good times. I'm in the store. I'm in the store swaying to Christmas music. Like I'm normally a Grinch, so you know this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying it. That's
good. That's good.
How about you?
I'm just like so many bad things are happening.
I'm sorry to lay on the joy so thick.
Yeah, the joy on your end was thick.
I'm
Mine
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, my job is amazing as per usual. Nothing to report there. Everything's going swimmingly. And I did use the word swimmingly.
I like these. Is it adjectives? I could be wrong. Adjectives?
Yeah.
Descriptive words?
Descriptive words.
Yeah.
Adjectives, I believe.
Good choice.
So swimmingly. But like my car is a lemon piece of shit box.
People, do your research when you buy cars.
Like
I do the minimal research, and my car's never failed me yet to this day. This day,
I have no idea how. I do know how this happened. Mania happened.
Right.
Hypomania happened, and I'm not blaming it on the.
It was a money spending spree time.
But it was. I was spending money.
Guys,
in
when
August, September,
that wish delivery list,
wish delivery was coming daily wish deliveries. And I said, this is a great time to buy a car because here's the thing: the work where I work in the community, and when I was working in Toronto, that meant TTC, subway, etc. But I'm now out in the suburbs. I got to go, anywhere from like Pickering to like Bowmanville. And you can't catch a bus to Bowmanville and actually have a full day's work of a job.
Not with Durham Transit.
Not with the Pulse, girl. Not with the Pulse.
Not that 30 minutes to 45 minutes
Don,
to an hour.
Babe, I'm sorry. I love you, Don, but the shit's whack. When I have to wait 12 minutes for a bus in Toronto, you swear to God, I'm about to rip someone's head off. I'm legitimately about to contact TTC and be like, yo, why am I waiting?
Why am I not
12
waiting
minutes for
10
the
minutes
86?
tops?
Like, why it should be, it said 5 to 7 minutes. The clock keeps going backwards. What's up? Like, give me a report. And they have reports for this very reason, because people get agitated when they have to wait for so there's no public transit in my job. I need a car for my job. So I had the brilliant idea to like just get the car and you'll get the job. Like that whole like Kevin Costner movie with the baseball field where it's like, if you build it, it will come. You know? What movie is this? Field of Dreams, guys. You never heard this movie?
No.
Y'all too young.
No.
Ellie, Field of Dreams. Ellie's in the house.
I'm gonna look this up later. This girl said, if you build it, they will come.
They will come.
He sounded insane.
Right? And the thing is, but
that
it
just opened my eyes.
You know what? But it wasn't insane because I bought it and then I got it.
Okay, so, we'll give it to you. Manifestation is key. It's real.
It's a real.
We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. But like that line right there took me out. Like, if we build it, they will come.
They will come. I'm just saying, like,
it's been a rough week. It's okay.
My back is feeling better. I have a pillow currently behind it because I've been kind of.
You didn't even have to tell the people; they wouldn't even have known.
Whatever. I just wanted to let them know I'm just comfortable right now. I'm very comfortable.
My legs up.
Ready,
y'all could see it a little bit.
Ready to get into why you asked that interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
What is the topic du jour?
It is working remotely.
Yes, and the mental health of those remote workers.
Yes.
So.
Oh, are we getting to it? Are we getting to it right now? Let's be on cue. It's time for Newsflash. Brought to you by me today. Guys, I'm back. Hi.
Guess who's back?
I'm back with your news, guys. It's hot.
Muy caliente.
Muy caliente. Okay. So we are discussing, as you said just now, remote working. So with this article from Tech Republic, they're talking about remote working and how employers can support mental well-being this winter. So we all know about seasonal blues. So that's
seasonal affective disorder.
Okay, I say seasonal blues. She says the actual scientific right. SADS. So
SADS.
Who wants to say SADS? But
SADS,
okay, yeah. So in this article, though, they're just talking about winter can be a difficult time of year as days grow shorter and darker, and the falling temperatures increase and force us to be inside and stuff like that. So, with the increased anxiety of the pandemic, basically they're saying that the stats speak for themselves, and according to the U.S. Center for Disease (CDC), we hear it all the time, but I'll say it again. 41% of American adults have struggled with mental health issues stemming from COVID-19 pandemic. In the UK, research from the Office of National Statistics suggests that almost 1 in 5 adults have been experiencing some form of depression this year, and that's almost doubled from the figure of 2019. So burnout is also reaching critical levels, apparently. In a recent survey by FlexJob, Mental Health America, 75% of workers have experienced burnout this year, and 40% citing it as direct result of the coronavirus pandemic. So with the ongoing, remote working situation, they're basically trying to say for employers, they should have sufficient support and well-being resources ongoing and it should be critical to keep workers motivated and engaged for their mental health. So that's basically that. They're just saying that they need to, be more supportive to their employees, which is true. I think any employee wants more support because personally, I'm a type of employee that when I go to a workplace, I stick to my job and I go home because I don't like to make friends, and that's just that. I'm here to make the people money. I go to the people workplace to make the money. I go home. Y'all ain't my real friends. Y'all susuing, as mom would say, behind my back probably. There's no reason for that. So in another article, we're talking about Google, I'll let you know. This is my favorite article thus far because I always wanted to work for Google because Google's the shit. If everyone's seen the Google movie, the campuses and the workplaces that they have, sleep pods. I could take a nap at work. Are you kidding me? Like, y'all have it fat. Free food. You've seen the Google movie, right? With Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, I've seen the Google movie.
I wanted to work at Google so bad after that. I was like, I'll find
a
way.
Like accurately what Google
Yes,
was
that
like?
was actually at a Google.
Oh my god.
That was actually at Google. And they have one in Toronto. The one in Toronto has a slide, I believe, if I seen correctly, because that's how bad I wanted to work at Google. I looked up the Toronto location.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I already know Google's going to be on point with their employees. Like, y'all going to be set. So let's read what Google's trying to do. So Google is tackling mental health challenges among its employees by offering resistance training videos. We all love videos. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We watch them everywhere. So they did the right thing with this one. So throughout the coronavirus pandemic, Google has emphasized employee health in establishing long-term remote work plans and offering periodic days off called rest days. Everybody needs a rest day. Follow suit, companies, rest days. Paid rest days. I don't see paid here, but I think everyone would agree with paid, right?
It's probably paid is the best.
You don't want to put it out there, but probably. Anyways, even that it hasn't been enough to deal with the mental stresses caused by the virus. So, they said that COVID-19 is something we weren't expecting, which is true, or anticipating, or frankly prepared for from a mental skill approach. And this comes from Lauren Witt, whose title at Google is a wellness manager and resilience leader. So she has a big job right now with winter coming up, and that's basically helping Googlers meet the moment they're facing today. So the moment being the pandemic. So Witt told CNBC... Did I say that right? Because I'm always confused.
Yeah,
CNBC. Okay. In an interview, that it's seeking out strategies to help Google's 130,000 plus employees to deal with this ongoing crisis. That's a lot of people to deal with. So the fact that they're taking this initiative now is great. So the company is leaning on resilience training as a phase technically reserved for professional athletes and combat fighters. Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. The company said that it is expanding existing programs and creating weekly short instructional videos from athletes, coaches, psychologists, which employees are watching with greater frequency. So they're just basically putting the information out there for their employees to get through the winter time and everything like that. And so that's really good. That's really good for their employees. It's happy to see they're taking that initiative. Our last news flash today comes from Benefits Canada. They're reputable. The discussion was had previously. They're reputable.
It with they're reputable.
So City of Toronto's pivoting.
It's an opinion and we're sharing it.
Okay. See? Reputable. So a City of Toronto pivoting to permanent hybrid work model. I don't know if this is good or this is bad. You guys could probably email us, to let us know how you feel about this after all this. Being an office worker used to mean going into an office. Not anymore. Dum dum dum. A new day has already dawned for many, including the City of Toronto's 14,500 white-collar employees who've been working at home since the coronavirus hit in March. A quick switch to working from home wasn't without some hiccups, and skeptics at first say, this name, I should have asked you this before, Omo Akintan. Thank you. Sorry for butchering your name. The city's chief people officer, that's a lengthy name, but employees soon saw that advantages with the whopping 95% of the 5,733 staffs who responded to a survey conducted in the summertime saying that they wanted to continue working remotely from home at least one day per week post-pandemic. I was hearing a little mixed match about this from a lot of people. They said that they like working from home. Some people said that they they weren't about it. You know, the kids were driving them crazy. So like I could see 1 day a week being reasonable. You know, why not? And there was also a survey, so we now know our employees stand on it, and our plan is bolder while also ensuring that people have the resources they need and that the remote work continues to be part of our future state. We're not going to transition to the way it used to be, and then some future points pivot again. We're just going to try and ease ourselves into the scenario, into our future state. So they've taken a stance thus far that Torontonians will be working from home, it seems. The article goes on to be lengthy, but we don't need to go into that because you're going to go into more information about working from home. So
I am. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy I could do it again.
Thank you. And you're going to do it again next week, too.
Oh,
so
perfect.
Look forward to that. I'll let you know the topic at some point next week.
You see how she treats me, guys? You guys have been if you guys have been listening from jump, you know this is how I get
12
it.
years a slave.
What?
You told Harpo to beat me.
That was
my life.
the color purple. But okay.
I just decided to incorporate 2 very awesome African American movies in one sentence.
Perfect.
How I treat you.
All right. Okay. You've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Just so y'all know.
Whatever, it is what it is. So I just want to talk about our experiences with working remotely because I know we both have them.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I haven't. By the time this episode airs, I would have been working remotely for 3 days from this new job. But the job that I had before, working at the hospital, they basically had us like. I remember the stress of working remotely. Because the plan was to work on programming, which like we had extensive programming where I worked in regards to like courses for our students, right? So they wanted us to just come up with some like BS courses, so
just
that,
to keep you guys busy,
just like Fat Man
pay you
Busy
for
Work.
something.
It was Fat Man Busy Work straight up. And if y'all don't know the term Fat Man Busy Work, I'm about to explain it to you. Okay, this is the Donald Trump story, actually. This is the only time I will ever reference The Apprentice or Donald Trump on my show. So prepare yourself.
Oh my gosh.
So Donald Trump had this guy from Toronto. His name was Michael.
Okay.
I'll never forget this. Right? And Michael was slightly overweight. Like he was significantly overweight. Like
I'm not laughing at that fact. I'm sorry.
In the show, like
that's how she's
Trump
saying
used
it.
to have them.
That's how she's saying it.
Running around and doing the most and coming up with ideas and like making deals and so
things that he couldn't,
things that Michael just was not capable of doing. Like Michael basically would like he was a spoke in like everyone's perfectly
he did it intentionally.
Wheel.
We all
like,
know
he was just like a jab in the wheel and everyone would be like, oh gosh, now we gotta deal with Michael, right? Like it was always like, oh. So he didn't rep Toronto well at all. Let's just like start with that point. He didn't rep Canada well at all. So eventually they decided after like maybe 4 or 5 episodes of him failing at like everything to give him work like, oh, Michael, go make 3,000 photocopies of this flyer and then go like staple it against the walls of like New York City. Like, so while they actually did the competition. So from that, I was like, yo, they gave that guy Fat Man Busy Work. So that's why I call it, that's where that saying comes from. It's from Michael from Toronto. I'm like, yo, we got Fat Man. So I'm afraid, my biggest fear in life is Fat Man Busy Work. It's like, you don't value my time. You don't value, like, who I am, what I do, nothing about me. And you just,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, you know what I'm saying? You give me this busy work. It takes me like a half hour. Then what am I doing with the rest of my day? Sitting there guilty for not working when there's no work to do. My work was working with people and not working from home by myself. Like, well,
Fat Man Busy Work.
Fat Man Busy Work. That's what that is.
Fair enough.
Like, I'm working on my own by myself. That's the part. That was a huge thing was isolation. Like,
yeah, I remember in the beginning, like you were just like, I'm just by myself. I have nothing to do. The phone calls were nonstop.
Like
I
the
had to entertain
isolation
you.
was crazy. Like people need connectivity. Like
100%.
like my coworkers in that like respect were like we were a team, we were a family. We understood each other's experiences and we were able to share with one another the things that we were going through within our job. But like, you know, one of my coworkers didn't even have like a cell phone. I'd have to call her like landline. She was an older lady.
Oh, okay.
Hey Faith, she knows who she is. she knows who she is. She's been on the show. She's lovely. And congratulations, Faith, on the new position. You deserve it. So yeah, she had a landline, or you have to get her through email. Like, when's the last time you emailed one of your friends, like, just to get a hold of them? Like, you're used to seeing someone every day going out for smoke breaks, and like,
I get letters in
like,
the mail.
I don't. That's special. Who from who?
Kara.
Of course you get letters
And
from
Bella.
Kara. Huh?
And Bella, too.
Oh, and Bella too. Hey, Bella. Hey, girl. Yeah, so I don't know.
That old-fashioned, old-school letter love.
Not letter.
Letter love.
That
Birthday
letter
cards.
love.
I stay getting birthday cards in the mail from Kara. I mean, we've kind of graduated, but I always used to love those. So
Yeah. One study found that those who normally work remotely, 19% of them still reported feeling lonely. Like, they normally work remotely. And during the pandemic, they felt lonely.
Mm.
But then, how do you combat as an employer that feeling of loneliness? Like the places them had to shut down. They had to shut down. They had to,
yeah, there's
lock
nothing.
it down, close it down. Like, what can you do?
But this is the thing too. Like, also, it's not only just working remotely from home. It's being quarantined as well. Like, it's not like you could be a remote worker from home and go to the library or something,
we were
or
in
go
quarantine.
somewhere scenic or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
you just have to be literally stuck at home.
like there were no bathrooms. Let's start with that. There were no. You couldn't go anywhere because there were no bathrooms. Like,
Weird.
no, I'm just talking about I'm talking about being quarantined, being locked at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're at your job. The lines are blurred between work and professional and private life. And even if you wanted to go outside to do something, to work at a coffee shop, to work at a park.
Oh,
to
yeah,
work,
yeah.
there were no bathrooms. Like,
So true. You're there like, I gotta go.
I gotta go. I gotta go home. You
Just...
gotta pack up and go home because you're not catching a bathroom. Like, everything was locked down.
Yeah.
So what are employees or employers, to do about this feeling and sense of isolation that people are experiencing during the pandemic? You know, some places like GitLab encourage setting virtual coffee breaks during work hours for remote teams to foster collaboration and create a more comfortable work environment. So, okay.
That's fair. That's interesting.
That's interesting, but like, you know how like when you're at work and you only like maybe 2 people? Do you know that situation?
Yeah. I don't really normally
But
talk
you have
to
to have
anybody.
a coffee break with 10 people and you're just like,
I don't normally, I just don't socialize.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
The last couple of jobs that I've had for the last probably like 6 years are all like nighttime. So I don't have to eat.
The thing is, every relationship you have at work is forced. It's forced because you work together. So you
or forced because they're cliquey,
or they're cliquey or something. But it's forced. It's a forced relationship, right? So now you're giving us the freedom to not be forced into that relationship. Because I do go into, there's a part of the research talking about how important relationships and friendships are, and how 8 out of 10 people surveyed and said they have at least one friend at work. Yeah, because that was the one person that treated you well when you were doing your like like your training. Like they actually helped you out. They didn't want to sabotage you.
Yeah,
or they
that's
weren't like
normally-
giving you nasty looks, or they were so like that's like that one person. But even still, like, are you really gonna ride or die for that one person when you got a best friend from since you were like 5 years old?
It depends.
Like-
That's how relationships are fostered.
Like,
That's how Sarah had Victoria at her wedding as a bridesmaid. Like, you know when you randomly hear those stories, like, we've known each other from childhood. Well, we've known each other from college. Well, actually, we worked together. Like, we've worked together for like a year or two. That's how those relationships happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's like, I'm not being swayed on this one.
No, it's just I feel like if you don't have to when it comes to work, like you just don't. Like,
Yeah,
if you
okay.
don't, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
when I say that,
you don't have to go that extra effort.
If you don't have to do the virtual coffee break,
If I could
Zoom
go have
call,
coffee by myself,
yeah,
to
if
watch
you could,
30 minutes,
you know, and like pet your
Netflix.
cat or your dog, or and especially if they ask you during your lunch break or your 15-minute smoke break. Like, are you bringing your whole situation downstairs to be smoking on the 15-minute
because that's how you like to have your coffee.
That's how you like to have your coffee. You have to have coffee with the smoke, right? So, come on now.
That
what
is
am I really
hilarious.
asking you to do? Like,
the trials and tribulations of remote working right now. Like, what?
And then there's a place called Revelry has dedicated a specific water cooler channel to engage break time chatter. A water
like
cooler,
the office water cooler is the chill spot.
Yeah. No,
That's so stupid.
it's ridiculous.
I'm going for my cup of water and going back to my desk. Like, stop
I'm bringing
it.
a whole
Stop
bottle,
it.
so I only have to go once
You know what I'm
a
saying?
day.
Like, who goes to get the little cone? Like, you don't have a swell bottle or something like that to like,
Thank you, water cooler gossip.
Like,
oh my
what type of
gosh.
foolishness? Oh my goodness.
So then the next thing is burnout. So how could this be though? I wonder.
You've never gotten burnt out in front of a computer?
Yes.
Like your eyes alone. Like now
Like
they have
watching
glasses
like
for
8
it.
hours of Netflix, possibly.
I'm actually gonna try the glasses that they have. They have like blue light glasses now for
So-
it. So
A 2019 survey by an infrastructure company called DigitalOcean found that 82% of remote tech workers in the U.S. felt burnt out, with 52% reporting that they worked longer hours than those in the office, and 40% feeling that they thought they needed to contribute more than their office colleagues. So yeah, there's that pressure when you're working remotely, like, because like you feel like you're not cheating the system, but you feel like you're doing something horribly wrong by not being at your office during office hours. And it's like,
because society tells you you're supposed to be in a cubicle sitting down or
you're
in a
supposed to be
workplace
an office or in a workspace, but like
working in
it feels something about it feels so sinister to me. I
that
don't
you're
know.
relaxing and sitting
That I'm
down
like,
and
yeah,
doing work.
Or if like my back hurts, I could just hop on my bed for 5 minutes and just lay down. Like, that feels so wrong. That's why I made mom buy me a desk.
Enjoy the system. Enjoy how
I made
it's
mom
going.
buy me a desk.
I know.
And you
Why?
put it, you put it,
Yeah, I was gonna say
put it
like,
together.
why are you telling me like I didn't sit
Yeah.
down and put it
You
together?
did put it together. Forgot about that. Forgot about that.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you
Sorry,
frozen there?
Yeah, I'm frozen. That's the problem, guys. Normally I'd be talking, but I'm frozen.
Frozen
when
in
your
time.
heart's not open. So adapting to a new normal. I think what that article said in the
Newsflash?
benefits Canada
Oh, yeah.
Newsflash. is exactly what's going to happen. Like, we're expecting a second, possibly third wave of this virus before we even see a vaccination. At least not a vaccination I'm willing to take. Yeah, we talked about that in our I Got That Dish the other day. You know how I feel about the vaccination.
Don't get me started again.
Don't get it twisted. So, you know, there's going to be like further waves. So this whole remote working thing is probably going to be like the norm, 100%. The new normal.
And I know, you know what is really funny? Not funny, but like ha 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 funny. Like, people don't realize that like we've had pandemics before in history, and they didn't just go away after 1 year. Like SARS took a couple of years to go away.
It just got
Swine
not
flu,
interesting.
Yeah, it just got not interesting, and something more interesting came on.
People stopped dying from it.
Yeah,
and
like
something else happened.
You know, like even what's it called? The plague. The plague took like 3 years, I think.
The plague?
Yeah, I think it was about
like the Black Plague.
The Black Plague was about 3 years, I believe.
The Black Plague was like way longer than 3 years.
Was it? Could you?
I'll look it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I did. It's not 5.
I think the Spanish flu was like 7.
Was it?
I feel like it was.
Okay, well, we'll know in a second.
Know in
but
a
like,
second.
yeah, like this stuff was not going. 4 years. Okay.
200 million lives.
How much?
200 million.
200 million lives. Look up the Spanish flu.
Spanish flu is even worse.
But I just wanted to point it out there. So like, yeah, you're saying the second, third, fourth. Saying the second and third, like it's gonna be more waves.
Yeah, it's gonna be
you know,
a lot more waves.
And like,
it's a plague. Like it's
yeah.
It was 2 years and 500 million.
500 million in 2 years. What?
Like
I don't know.
The world just purges itself, eh?
The world has a way of weeding out,
purging itself. Oh my gosh!
It's just it's insane.
You know what I keep seeing? I keep seeing people putting up videos or like when New Year's comes and they're doing the countdown. Like it's gonna be like round 2. Fight. But for me, that's not what I'm hearing. Like I'm hearing like it's gonna be the countdown and we're gonna hear the purge sound. Like it's gonna be like brrr. Like it's gonna be a whole nother way to life. All the introverts, we're okay.
Oh, whatever. Shut
The
up.
extroverts, y'all going crazy right now. Could you imagine people that used to be going out every year for New Year's not being able to go anywhere?
I
and
don't
have to
go
hear
out for New Year's. New Year's Literally always catches
That's why
me
I
in
hear
my bed.
I'm hearing the purge sound. Yeah, New Year's always catches me in my bed or church when I was younger.
Or church, exactly. So New Year's was never my thing. Overrated.
Get me a bottle to my own house
before New Year's.
Yeah, so.
Like obviously, like that's the most important day of the year to me, not New Year's Eve. So,
but
anyways, and research shows exactly how swift the rise in mental health issues has been since the start of the pandemic. 42% of employees say their mental health has declined since the pandemic began. 18% of workers say their mental health is poor or very poor now versus 5% before the pandemic. Depression levels have increased by 83% since February for working women and by 36% for working men, while anxiety levels have increased by 52% for women and 29% for men. Let's stop and discuss that for a second.
Yeah, that was a lot of percentages. So
let's stop. Let's just back it up. It up. Okay.
Pull over that mouth too fast. Ooh, ooh.
So 42% of employees say their mental health has declined since the pandemic began.
Fair. Okay.
That's fair. That's like...
I would have thought it would be more just because of the stress and the anxiety of not knowing what was going on with the whole when it started. So that's fair. A lot more people have
18% of workers say their mental health is poor or very poor now versus 5% before the pandemic. See, that's even that's tripled. No, it's not tripled. That's double.
Oh, so it went from 5% to
18%.
18%. Okay, that's triple.
That's
tripled. Yeah,
plus.
triple plus.
Yeah,
like that's and
this
that's
is go ahead.
I was gonna say that's understandable. Like especially when you think about all the factors, like people that go to work, you know, are escaping their home life sometimes and things like that. So like to have to work from home in certain environments, like it could be added stress and depression. So
So 83% since February for working women, depression levels has increased.
83%
for working women. Because think about it. They've got to be employee. They've got to be mom. They've got to be teacher. They've got to be cook. They've got to be cleaner. They've got to be baker. They've got to be candlestick maker. Like they've got to be all of those things.
Girl,
right?
You listed my whole
Butcher,
job other than the
candlestick maker,
like,
everything.
Yep.
You know, so they're falling. They're falling.
I could probably put myself in that 83%. I mean, I'm chucking and surviving, but
no, I would say I was in that 83%, like the beginning of COVID. Like,
yeah, that's fair. Because now you have things to do. Like,
now I have like a little bit more productivity in my life.
I'm just home with the kids.
And 75% of people have experienced burnout at work, and 40% say they've experienced burnout during the pandemic specifically. So 75% of people experienced it when? Sorry? Experienced burnout at work
in general, before the pandemic. Okay.
So 40% say they've experienced burnout during the pandemic specifically.
It's a lot. It's a lot to not have to get up and go somewhere. Honestly. Like, no, like, think about it. Remember you said, like, before, when you were working from home, like, you had to get up and just do your little piece of work, and then you felt like your whole day was just there. Yeah. Some people don't have, like, it's just, why get up? Like, why even bother? Like, why bother? Like, when you have to get up and go outside and you catch that fresh breeze on your skin and you go shower first thing in the morning, half the people that are working remotely from home, we all know your half bottoms is PJs and the top is business. You didn't shower when you on Zoom. Nobody could smell you.
We don't even allow pictures. It's just your
initials.
Just
a little image.
Yeah, it's just the initials on
this is what
our teams. Like, yeah, we don't even show pictures because it's none of your business what my house looks like, what my situation is, what my house situation is,
but
what my bunk bed situation is. That's standard practice.
Is it? Yeah.
Unless, like...
I work too, and it's cameras on. But
no, it's standard practice. Like, okay, for when I do Zoom calls, for instance, if I have, like, a talk or, like, you know, some fireside chat, like I've got the Bell fireside chat coming up in January 28th. 2021. Thought I'd just plug that.
It's your show. Do what you want, girl.
Yeah, it's my show. I can. So look out for that. So like a chat or something, like you have to have video because it's the audience is looking at you. But if it's a meeting, and I feel like the etiquette is, if it's a meeting, especially if you're in your house, like you're not at work, like they have the whole like weird like scapey backgrounds that they do that makes your head look funny. I don't know how to do that on my shit, so I don't do that. Like they have like backgrounds, like you'd like be in a beach or like
the green screen,
yeah. But like I feel like etiquette is like if you're in your house and you don't know how to do that necessarily, all that stuff with your like meeting apparatus, you know, then you are allowed to just like turn the camera off, like and just be a blank screen. Like
you still hear my voice.
No, you mute. The standard is to mute as well. Like you don't, unless you're talking, you're on mute. We don't want to hear what's going on in your background.
We don't want to hear you.
Your background feed your two kids and like, mommy. Like we don't need to hear that up in our ears. So you're on mute the whole time, unless you speak when spoken to, type of thing. Like that's how it goes. But like, yeah, that's the etiquette. Because like if you have to hold up your phone and like you can only see your forehead, like I don't want to see that. Like when I put my phone like up on its little tilty thing at the back, you know, the little ring, the stand, the tilty thing, you know, the stand. You know, you can only see like the top, like up to my nose. Like I'm not bending over, like crouching over for you to see my whole face up my nose. I'm not doing the most. So
the amount of madness that must have happened though throughout the world on Zoom calls.
Yeah. Oh, didn't we hear some stuff about Zoom calls?
Yeah, they hacked into mom's church meeting and were writing like profanity on the chat.
What?
Yeah,
they hacked into mom's church meeting.
Yeah, they had to put a password on it because they hacked into mom's church meeting or whatever.
I didn't even know it got that close to my house.
Yeah, it got that close.
It affected our lives, like touched our lives.
Some kids were falling asleep on Zoom. I seen a video with a kid who fell asleep on Zoom and a raccoon came in his house. It was like on his face, like a lot of random things that probably nobody wants to see.
Oh my gosh, that is
so.
That is
crazy.
They
got hacked. Church got hacked. Yeah, church got hacked.
See, not even Jesus can save you from Zoom. Like, Zoom will get you.
Oh my god.
We use Teams.
Yeah, more secluded.
It's more secure.
Bubba uses Google Chat, like Google Classroom.
Chat?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
With their password.
So the Gallup poll, and I think like there's just like a Gallup poll, like it's called the Gallup poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has estimated burnout has cost employers between 125 billion to 190 billion in lost productivity and healthcare costs even before the pandemic. So even before, that's what they were paying before the pandemic. So imagine what they're paying now.
Yeah, because they have, like, at the end of the day, if I'm working for your company and I have to work remotely, you need to pay for my equipment to work remotely. I'm not using my laptop. My laptop's not good enough. Give me a laptop. I'm not going to go to Best Buy and buy a mic and you're going to pay me back for it. No, go and buy that so I could pick up a whole bundle and do my work from home if you want me to do my job. 100%.
Yeah, that was like a part of like, that was a question of like ethics too. And I read it somewhere in the research. Like, ethically, like, are you supposed to be providing me with a home workspace, like buying me a desk and like
a lot of people
buying me computers and like, but like my workplace was smart. They gave me an iPad with data on it.
Like their own data plan. Like their own Fire Stick or whatever it's called.
I don't know how, like, I have like a keyboard and a keypad and stuff, like a regular keyboard for typing, and then it comes with its own set of data.
Yeah, because they want it to be locked onto that IP address so they know what you're doing.
So they know what you're doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely what that is. But that is smart, and that is just the beginning of what, you know, companies should be doing for their workers, because not everybody has the technology, and it's like, you know.
And I can say, like, I didn't expect them to like buy me a desk. Like, I honestly didn't, because like I think work from home is just what it is right now, and we have an.
They wouldn't be mad if you worked in your bed. Like basically,
they wouldn't be mad if I worked. I needed the desk,
yeah.
So they allowed me, you know, several more weeks in the office until, like, you know, the bank account was flush enough to afford the desk. You know, so you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so imagine, I was just going to say, imagine if it's costing that much. Imagine what it costs now with organizations, you know, for mental health days and vacation time and all the different time people are taking off because of the stress of the pandemic.
100%.
Oh, there's that fact I was talking about. 8 in 10 workers say they have at least one friend at work.
You're lucky if you have one. All my jobs that I've had, like, I've evolved. I've evolved from workplaces to offices to just being my own boss, you know, like, forget all the mess. It's hard. It's not easy. I won't glorify it, but I like it. I like being a loner, if that makes sense.
Oh gosh.
I like being a loner at work. Like, I don't like being in politics drama, like, of the workplace. I don't want to know what Susan did to Shelly and why we don't talk to her, and I don't want to hear about her work ethic before I got there. And let me tell you, the last job I had, work politics, I got hired and the person that hired me got fired 3 days later. I'm not about that mess. I'm there brand new. I'm here brand new, like, just trying to learn the ropes, and you're going to fire the person that hired me? What did she do?
Stop.
What did she do? And I won't, like, I'm not going to do it, but they still didn't keep me. They didn't keep me. I'm like, it was.
So do you want to know what the survey reveals? That 80% of the workers would quit their jobs over?
Yes.
Yes. Like, yes, I do.
I do. I want to know if I'd quit my job over it as well.
For today's remote workforce, a vast majority of workers, 80%, would consider quitting their current positions for a job that focuses more on employee mental health. This survey was of 1,000 Americans, published by the TELUS International, indicates a 70% of U.S. workers struggle to work due to anxiety caused by COVID-19 pandemic and other recent world events. So like they talked about things like Black Lives Matter. Like, remember, this is all going on too.
Yeah. So when you say that they would quit their jobs for another job that
for
was
another
more,
job that
okay.
had more focus on mental health.
I guess. Maybe I don't
mean,
know
I'm
if
not
I
out here
quit
quitting my job.
Yeah,
though.
like I'm like I don't know if I quit my
COVID.
job. Yeah, like I
don't know what kind of privilege that is, but
yeah,
like
to be able to quit your job and have another job that has mental health benefits. That's get it.
Get it.
Like
Go
get it. Go get it.
Yeah,
get that coin.
So they do the survey results show 4 out of 5 workers find it hard to shut off in the evening. Right, so this is just like why they're reporting that they would do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Over half of the respondents have taken mental health days since they started working from home due to the pandemic. 97% say vacation days while working from home are good for recharging. And that's another way of saying like mental health.
Mm-hmm. Like, see, Google's been on the ball. I told you. With their rest days, superb.
Half of the respondents say that their sleep patterns have been interrupted due to COVID-19, and 45% say they feel less healthy mentally while working from home. So this is what I really worry about my mental health working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's trying to convince me this is a great idea. This is a great idea. This is a great idea. I'm like, this don't feel like a good idea to me.
Why? Well, do you feel like you're just gonna stay home and sleep all day? I hate to throw it out there every 2 seconds. I have kids. They're my little human alarm clock, so I always have to get up and go regardless. You know what I'm saying? So like,
well, I have to be up for a morning meeting, but like after that's a toss up. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like I know
I'm
you like
worried.
your siesta
I like
fiestas.
my fiestas. I'm like not in the middle of the day when I'm supposed to be working. Like that's why I have the desk, but I need to get a comfortable chair. That chair's not cutting it.
No, just go to Staples.
I'm gonna have to go to Staples. The chair's not cutting it.
100%. But like, that's just. There's going to be pros and cons like any other thing. So, like, you just have to go with the motion.
But I feel like I could also be that girl that overworks. Like...
Because you have so much time on the clock?
Time on the clock. I could do, like, my group development. I could work on stuff and, like...
You just got to pace yourself.
I have to pace myself. I don't feel like I'm going to be the type... Because the job demands me to be, like, alert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to make phone calls to clients, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, you know, I have to be alert for at least part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the other part will be focused on, like, group development stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I could either drown myself in that or, you know, like, fall asleep. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like I'm going to drown myself in it. I'm going to want to do so well at, like, what I'm doing that I'm going to just, like, oh, it's, like, you know, it's 4 o'clock. But, like, I'll just work till, like, 4:30, 4:45 till it's, like, time when I get home.
Work to the time you're getting paid for.
Yeah.
What are you overworking yourself for? If they're not paying me?
According to the same study we were talking about, 35% of global workforces are working 10 plus more hours per week. That's more than 40 extra hours every month. Like,
are they getting paid for these 10 extra hours?
No, I doubt it.
Well, see, this is why,
and this is why they're citing that they feel burnt out. Well, 25% of the respondents cited that they feel burnt out.
Own boss, own hours. That's all I have to say. Take it as people may. Ain't no way I'm working 10 extra hours of my own time and I'm not getting paid for it. I mean, like 100%, like, because pandemic aside, there's no way if people were working remotely from home, you're putting in that extra time. I could understand it getting lost, like how you're saying, you know, like if you're in an assignment and you see it's 4 o'clock and you want to be like, oh, I'll go to 4:30 and 4:30 turns into 5:30. But like 10 plus extra hours a week, like if I'm not getting paid for that, honey, 5 o'clock, I'm clocking out. You ever see those things where it's like it's 5 o'clock and your work's call you at 5:01?
No,
I'm deaf. I'm deaf. I don't know whose phone's ringing, but it's not mine.
So there's a guy, Val Duffy. He's an HR executive who previously worked as vice president of HR and corporate services at the Greater Toronto Airport Authority. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
So there were 4 stages to employers' response to this crisis, and this is exactly how this rolled out. Like when I read this, I'm like,
right on the ball.
Right on the ball. First phase, which took place in late February, early March. Was to dust off crisis and business continuity plans. Just dust them off and look at work from home solutions. Companies with essential workers were focused on implementing strong workplace health and safety measures. Many employers were also forced to make tough choices about downsizing their workforce and implementing pay cuts. So there's a crisis, and we learned this in PR. We learned this in PR, right? So it's called crisis management, right? So a pandemic hits, and we do like a class about this. We'd be like, okay, this is what would the crisis plan be for this situation, right? So a pandemic has hit your organization, the world. Okay, a global pandemic has hit. You're probably not like in your crisis plan like folder gonna have this specific crisis, pandemic crisis, but you're gonna have something that looks similar to it. So you're gonna like dust that off, throw that together, do a like work from home situation to start, like just send everybody home, like, and then just like sit and try to figure out like what's your next move, like. That's basically.
Do we fire?
Are we firing people
to save money?
Are we making cuts? Like, are we cutting the workforce in half? Like, it's like Delta, like Air Canada.
They dusted off the booklet from swine flu and SARS. They're like
basically, and just like souped it up, and there it was. Like, there was the crisis plan. So we're in the second. We are now in the second phase, which is, it's called the respond phase. Companies with essential workers have ramped up their safety and medical protocol to mitigate employee and business continuity risk. Employers that have staff working from home or helping managers engage their team remotely and try to help employees deal with the stress and anxiety caused by the pandemic. So that's phase 2.
So phase 2 is the response.
The response. Like
to the crisis.
The response to the crisis is, again, the working from home. Mm-hmm. But it's also the like mitigating the risk factors for spreading COVID. So I'll give you an example. Like where I'm employed, half the team stays at home, half the team is like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Mm-hmm. So that's our plan. Right?
I didn't even trust my employer, so I just stopped. I just stopped.
You didn't trust their crisis plan?
I do contract work, so like I can't expose who I work for, but I do contract work. And they were basically saying that, like, you know, if anything was to happen, like their safety clause was if anything was to happen, they would pay us 2 weeks paid leave to quarantine or whatever, and it would be the hours that you worked previously. They would like round it off, I guess, and pay you that. And with further research, I realized it was just a smokescreen for people to feel comfortable in doing the work, because technically it was dangerous work, but like they weren't giving people the payout. So I had to be like, yeah. First actually they put safety measures that they were going to send us out safety boxes so that we would be okay, like just as
PPE.
Extra PPEs and all that stuff like that. And then that never came. It was always coming soon, never came. for purchase. It was supposed to be free. Never got the free stuff, and then, super shaky. So it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna step back because I got 2 kids. Can't be bringing these types of things. You know, my parents are elderly. Can't be doing that. So
the final stage will be about reimagining the new normal, as
We're not
everyone
there?
keeps talking about this whole new normal, post coronavirus. When are we getting there?
never.
When are we getting there?
I mean, realistically, never, because now it's just a new disease added to our list of diseases. People will continue to get COVID-19 after this pandemic is so-called over. So let's be realistic. People are still getting SARS.
People are still.
That's my reference
People
points because our
are
mom was a nurse
still
during that
getting
time. So, no, but 100%, it's true. They might not talk about it, but there might be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that we don't know about because it's not.
No,
it's not, a big problem.
that was 65%, guys.
That was 65%? Oh my gosh. She wasn't even joking. Oh, my mind is blown.
No,
Did we get into everything?
We basically got into everything,
Okay.
so it's okay. And you know what? I'm just gonna hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
When it comes to this whole being a remote worker for the next 2 weeks,
You
and
could
then
do it this week. It's a whole
I
new
could do
world.
it. I could do it. I'm just gonna not overschedule myself. But that's another thing they said. Having a schedule is very important. Exercising is very important. What else was very important? I understand the scheduling yourself to make sure that you're not you're putting breaks in there, and staying connected with friends and family is very important. So making sure you take those breaks to connect. As I was saying, exercise is also important. So getting up, stretching, walking around, going for a walk outside,
Doing a breathing exercise.
exercising, 4-box breathing, coming soon. And then, so that's a little insight between me and my audience.
Oh, okay.
4-box breathing coming soon. Yeah, you're like,
Okay.
fine, okay, you can have that. Yeah, so, and doing things like making sure you sanitize and you wash your hands 20 seconds at a time. 2 happy birthday songs they said in the what they wrote.
That's correct.
So yeah, sanitize your hands, sanitize your bodies, all that stuff. So, but
You will get through.
Hmm?
I said you will get through.
You'll get through it. I'll get through it. It's not going to be as bad as I just feel like it's going to go horribly bad.
She feels like she's going to sleep all day and be up all night, and that's not the time for work.
Oh my gosh, people don't know why they do this to me. I hope my work is not listening right now. Yeah, but it is what it is. I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to stay awake. I'm just going to get up instead of getting up at 5, I'll just get up at 8.
Yeah, like a regular person that's
a
ready for
regular
work.
person.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
As
do you have
Dad
any
would say, it's
advice
like
for me
you teeth
for being a
Jesus
remote
boots.
worker?
Stop.
You have any advice?
Honestly, just take a deep breath. You're fine. It's coming from somebody who works from home. Not like someone else pays me. I have to actually work my ass off and make my own money to come in, work from home. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine. Someone else is paying you. You'll be fine.
I won't disrespect the money.
You'll be fine. Sometimes I feel like it's a struggle. When I'm here, do I get up and bake today? If I bake, will they come?
If you bake them, they will come, Bianca.
This is my daily struggle every day as a business owner. If I bake, will they come?
They will
Will they come? Actually, I forgot to tell that in today when you asked me how I was. I went to the bulk barn, and I actually had one of the cashiers tell me that I smelt delicious. Because I baked this weekend through the masks, mind you. So maybe if I do bake, they will come.
They will come.
They will come.
They will.
It's
come.
possible. Shoot,
Right.
So,
Wow.
but I have faith in you. You'll be fine, and everyone else that's working remotely, you'll be fine.
In the words of my favorite train, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can.
You definitely can.
Favorite train.
You definitely can.
What was that book called again?
I don't know. I thought it was Thomas the Tank Engine, but I know
No,
it's
it's
not.
not Thomas the Tank Engine.
The little tank who could. The
The little engine who could.
The little engine who could. There you
Little
go.
engine who could. Oh yeah.
So ridiculous.
Anyways, let them know how they can reach us.
So you guys can reach us and reach out to us if you have any, any additional input on your working remotely from home experience. But if you want to reach out and do that, you can get in touch with us on our email. So that's dysh@daintydysh.com. So dysh@dainty.com. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts,
Give us a 5, deserve a 5.
and if you're listening to us on any other streaming services, thank you so very much. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to get a hold of all of us, you can get a hold of us at Dainty Dish Podcast. So that's DAINTYDYSH and if you'd like to get a hold of me personally, my Instagram is thatmuvabadxo. So THATMUVABADXO. And if you'd like to get a hold of Onika, hers is
Best of Onika. That's BESTOFONIKA. And if you would like to get a hold of Ellie, his is its.LO. its.ELLO.
And if you want to get a hold of Tiana, hers is Honey T. It's HONEE.TEE.
Yes.
Yes, that is it. So,
Right.
and we'll also have all of that scrolling across the bottom of our feed if you're watching our video. So,
Yeah,
that's
that is.
right? I'm still the
Oh,
Spelling Bee
yeah.
champion.
Whatever, girl. You're so ridiculous.
Listen, I think it's all that spelling mom used to do around us when we were
It's
younger.
true.
That's because she be throwing out some words to me right now around the kids, and I'll be like, huh? I got you. Yeah. What was that? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, she used to spell words so that
All
we
the time,
didn't
so we wouldn't know
what the word was.
Yeah.
Until we all learned to spell.
100%.
Oh, it was so good. Love you, Mom. Anyways, that has been the dish of the day, and I hope y'all have yourselves a very, very, very happy hump day.